Welcome, I'm Bev Adams. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. This is the card I'd like to show you today. It uses Happy Celebrations and the Celebrations Duo Textured Impressions embossing folder. These come in a set of 2. I like to keep mine in a clear case. I have the inserts available on my website. You can get these until the end of May 2017 as a bundle and save yourself 10%. I am happy to say these will both be available in the new catalog that's coming out live on June 1st, but you will no longer be able to get the discounted bundle price. I'm using Blushing Bride for my card base. I have a piece of Whisper White for the inside that's 5 1/4 by 4, and a piece of thick Whisper White that's 4 1/2 by 3 1/4. And a piece of the Blushing Bride glimmer paper. I'm afraid to say that this also is retiring. The first thing we want to use is the corner rounder punch, also retiring. We're going to punch the corners of all of the layers of the card, not the card base itself, but the glimmer paper, the thick Whisper White, and the regular Whisper White. I have really loved this corner rounder punch. I think this is one of those things. I usually don't keep retired products, but I think that this is going to be one that they have to pry out of my hands. I did not plan a sentiment for inside, but of course we have some wonderful inside sentiments that you could certainly use. I usually like to just write a note on the inside of my cards. We are going to emboss the thick Whisper White. I want to center Happy a little bit closer to the top. So I actually have the edge at the edge of the cardstock at the edge of the embossing folder. Putting that into my sandwich. My 2 cutting plates. I do not need the thin die adapter. And I'll run this through the Big Shot. And this actually debosses, meaning that the bumps go into the card. It actually also embosses. I think you'll see what I mean in just a minute when I stamp this. I may very well go over the edge with my stamp, so I'm putting scrap paper underneath. But this is a photopolymer stamp, and so I want to use my stamp mat. I'm using the same Blushing Bride ink. From the stamp set, there's several large solid images. I'm using this one. It is shown at 60%, so it's a lot bigger than it looks on the stamp case. And I'm stamping around the half, so I think you can see that the main part of the letter is sunken down so it does not get the ink. And I can certainly stamp off if I would like. Magnum, quiet. We're puppy sitting. We raise guide dog puppies, and we're puppy sitting a 14-week-old sweet yellow lab. And he is missing our black lab that's nearly a year old that is off to training with my husband right now. And so he's a little bit bored. So I have stamped around Happy, and now I'm going to stamp Birthday to You in the basic gray. I'm going to stamp this a little bit below Happy. I'm going to make a tassel. I need a piece of 8 inches, a piece about 10 inches, and then 5 feet. And I'm using the Blushing Bride Solid Baker's Twine, another product that is retiring. There will be other baker's twine though. You could make it with a different color. I'm wrapping the 8-inch piece around the block so it's out of the way. And I'm going to hold on to the 5 feet. I'm actually leaving it still attached to the roll, but you can measure out 5 feet if you want. And I'm wrapping it around 12 times. 2. And of course, if you wanted a smaller tassel, you could wrap it around fewer times. If you wanted something really puffy like a pom-pom, you could wrap it around more. I'm tying this in a knot, and I want to tie this fairly tight. And this is going to be you could make it a loop or a tie, and then slide this off the block. And we can go ahead and clip this now. This might be the hardest part of the whole card, but it's still pretty easy. I'm going to put a tapestry needle with the eye part sticking up past that tie. I'm going to put my 10-inch piece, and I want to have this longer than the other so I know which one is this piece. I want to wrap it around about 1/4 of an inch from the top of the tassel. And as soon as I get once around, I can hold this and pull this tight. I want to wrap this tightly. And I just need to wrap it around 3 or 4 times. And then find that other end and tie this tight. I put that needle in because I want to pull these ends through that wrapping. And the easiest way to do that is to use either a needle threader, or you can also get dental floss threaders. That either one will help you thread the baker's twine through that needle, and you want to use get the other one through there as well. And you want to have them go through that same way, and then you want to pull those ends. It'll be easiest if you have a little bit of a loop here, and you want to pull those ends through that wrapping. And then they become more of those tassel tails, and the top is pretty neat. And then you just need to decide how long you want your tassel. This B block gives you quite a bit of flexibility, so you can make like a 1-inch tassel. You could even go around the long way and make a longer tassel. So there's my tassel. I'll punch a couple of holes with my 1/16 of an inch hole punch. And I kind of held my thumb here so I can keep those level. Use the same dental floss threader or the needle threader to make your life easier to get these through the hole. And then just tie this in a knot, and that will secure your tassel. And you want to snip this short enough so that those ends don't peek out through. Now I want to put plenty of dimensionals on the back of this. Between having this embossed and sticking it to glimmer paper, it has a tendency to not stick smoothly. It sticks well, but not smoothly. And so I'm putting plenty of dimensionals. This may be overkill with all these dimensionals. Just want to put my glimmer paper on the front of the card. I'm using Fast Fuse here. And my embossed layer, and that's it. I'll have all the directions on my website and the link to all the products. Talk to you soon. Bye.